Our real adventures in Switzerland started on a beautiful, rapid train from Zurich to Appenzell, a tiny village with narrow streets and elaborately colorful buildings. Look closely at all these great gnomes. I'm sure there's one for you. Wish I'd bought one. We bought some of these clever meringues for gifts, but they were so delicious they did not make it past St. Moritz. Now check out the peeing table next to the church. It really made me laugh, and I couldn't wait to show it to our grandkids. For dinner, we had our first of many Swiss Rösti. My favorite Swiss dish is a plate-sized potato pancake, crispy fried in lots of butter, and we had one nearly every place we went. The next day, our only full day in Appenzell, we went to the top of 3 mountains, the most of our entire trip. Traveling out and back around the valley, we took cable cars up and back down, then up and down, and then up and a killer hike down, nearly missing our bus back at the end of the day. First was Sentis. At over 8,000 feet, it's the highest peak in northeastern Switzerland. Here's a cool bit of trivia as we ride up. As far away as Germany's Black Forest are houses called Sentisblick, which means Sentis view because they can see this peak. And wow, up here you can see 5 neighboring countries on a clear day. In addition to Germany, you can see Liechtenstein, Austria, Italy, and France. Later, looking closely at maps and these 2 beautiful zoom shots Lester took, we realized that this lake was our 3rd and most anticipated destination for the day on our hike down. What a hoot! I got to pretend to be Grandma Heidi here. Sentis is also the wettest place in Switzerland with the largest measured snow depth. Hi, Lester! And has the most lightning strikes ever recorded.
Hello there. Hi, cutie.
To get to the next summit, Hoherkasten, we backtracked by train, and at the station we were greeted by these cute goats. From each train stop, the last stretch was by bus. It is a spectacular view going up. The snow-covered peak on the right is Sentis, where we just came from. But I literally could have spent a week exploring all these trails with my backpack. We're now on our way up to our 3rd summit. You can see that we're already high above the valley floor. Ebenalp was actually one of the places I was most excited to visit, and it was definitely a highlight. It has a famous guest house built on the side of the steep valley wall at the base of the ridgetop cliff and accessible only by trail. In fact, that trail right below us. And this one going here into the cave. But I'm going to back up here. I didn't realize until I was working on this video that some of the cliff trail I have photos of is also visible here. See that structure near the left edge of the cliff wall about halfway up? And to the right, an old house where we come down out of the cave. On the ridgetop, we were gobsmacked by the incredible views. We stopped for coffee and calmly discussed which of the red marked trails on the map to take back down to the valley and the bus back to town. But Lester was a little worried about the time, so I went over and asked the cutest and very buff local guy behind the counter about that trail and the time. He said he does it all the time and it's not far. You'll be fine. The hike from the top down to the Asher Hut guest house was on a really nice trail and took about 45 minutes down around to the cliffs, through that cave, maybe about 100 feet or more, and then out to this great view of the cableway past the different old hut and other buildings, and then down along the cliff wall, partly through that snow-protected boardwalk attached to the side of the cliff. And as you round the corner, this amazing fairy tale guest house comes into view. We stopped on the narrow deck for a snack and more coffee, of course, and wondered if the helicopter was actually rescuing someone. It was now about 5 p.m. as we headed down. Down, down, down. There were some traverses, but it was mostly a very steep, knee-crushing path. An hour and a half later, the trail ended at a narrow road. Right goes to the lake and left back to town. I badly wanted to see the lake, but we were exhausted and knew the bus wouldn't wait. So we turned left, met our first of many cows, and then along came a group of local kids doing their afternoon chores. If you were a kid living in Appenzell, every day after school, this would be your job, herding the cows and keeping them from going down off of the road there. Can you imagine how hard it would be to get them back up? Now check out this cow at the back, hoping from a snack from Lester. That arrow is the Asher Hut where we were. The hike from the top was about 6 miles and took us nearly 4 hours. We made it back to a just-closed cafe at 7:30 p.m. with one more bus coming at 8. The host served us the best ice-cold beers ever for a perfect day.